Okay guys, so for this week's project, we're gonna be taking out this faux firewall. And then we're gonna be getting this whole section cut out here, all this, and all this on this side. So the job is to get everything cleaned up, get the bay washed after the fact, get everything prettied up. Going to pick up the engine and cylinder head tomorrow after I get off work. One of the things I did this weekend, went and got a turbo manifold. I'm probably going to be redoing this one and putting bigger primaries on it, but I really got it for the flanges, and also came with an excess power wastegate. So we're gonna run this until it pukes. And if I have to, I'll get a new one. I don't care. So I also, hang on. Let me go get a flashlight because I got another thing that I picked up this weekend I'm kind of excited about. So I want to show you guys that as well. If you give me just a second. We got some cleaning to do in the shop. It's getting messy around here with all these parts. So this might be kind of hard to see. Oops. See what I'm talking about? Right there. My stuff is a mess right now. So one of the things, and I don't know if you can see my face, I'm sorry, we don't really have very good lighting on this side of the shop, so if I look like crap, it's just because I look like crap. So one of the things I went and picked up is, I think it's an 01X. Oh, that says 02X right there. Anyhow, this is my 6-speed that we're going to be doing the rear wheel drive conversion on. When Andy comes out, we can get that all done up. So the game plan overall, I'm trying to keep this video short and I'm already rambling. So the game plan overall, pick up the block and the head tomorrow. We're gonna get the head put together first. I'm gonna do all the valve train parts. So we'll get you a video in a few weeks of that coming up. I think I'm gonna be getting that on its way here this Friday. We're gonna get the head put together first, and then we're gonna take the block. We're not gonna put anything in it. We're gonna get it set in the car, and we're gonna put the head on the block, fully assembled. And then since all of this will be cut out here, what we're gonna start doing is building our primary tubes to go from the strut tower here to come down, and then it'll come around the headlights and then down onto the frame rail here, and the same thing over there. I need to get the front end built. I need to know where all my mounts have to be for everything, or at least where the main bars need to be for, you know, the core support and the fender mounts and all that kind of stuff. That way, once we get the front end done there, we can actually start doing body work, which will be the really fun part of all this. I have my wheels picked out. We're gonna do a kind of a reveal on those too, because those are gonna be massive. But biggest thing is I need to have my motor in here so I know how close I can make my radiator support, you know, what kind of spacing I need for all the parts to go in the front end of this. And also, since I'm going to be putting new primary tubes in that, I need to have the cylinder head on so I know where to locate my turbo. I'm going to be running 1 5/8" primary tubes. I think there's 1 1/4" on it right now. I want them a little bigger, get a little bit better flow out of them. Long term, I think it'll help. And then once that's done, yeah, once we get the head set on and everything, we'll get the manifold built. That way we can get the turbo set in place where I want it, because I might move it a little farther into this pocket area here, versus being a little more over in this area where the original was. As big of a turbo as it is, I'd like to know that I have room, because I don't want to just build the manifold and then have the turbo landed on the strut tower. So that's the plan for this week. We're not going to be building the front end this week, but we are going to be cutting away material, cleaning everything up, getting everything ready to go for that stage. That way when it comes time to do it, everything's set and ready to go. I'm trying to stay a couple steps ahead of all this. I don't want to rush it, so you know, I don't like the last minute BS. So we're trying to take care of all that now. And then once all that gets done, I guess we'll start moving forward with the framing of the front end, and we'll go from there. So yeah, enjoy guys. Okay guys, just got off work and we're going straight to the machine shop. My block and cylinder head are done, so let's go get them. Alright, just picked up my block and cylinder head, and as usual, my guy Charlie does fantastic work. They look perfect. So right now, we're heading home. Got to make a pit stop real quick, and then we're gonna go do some more work on the car. I'm gonna start getting all the seams cleaned up on the engine bay. My plans changed a little bit from last night. I'm kind of bummed out about it, but I'm not gonna be able to do the tubed front end. I'll explain to you a little bit later. That way I can point out exactly why. Kind of irritating, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, and we're not stopping for it. So we will be doing a custom core support. But as far as the whole front chassis, that's kind of a no-go for the time being. So what I decided to do since discovering all this last night is I'm gonna stitch weld all the seams that are under the hood. We're gonna fill any holes that aren't being used anymore. Basically, we're gonna shave it as much as we can. I'm not going crazy. It's not really gonna be a show car. It's more like a race car. It's just gonna look really clean and simple. But I'm not bondoing holes. I'm not doing any of that. We're gonna patch the holes, tack weld the holes and stuff, and then, you know, we'll grind them smooth and polish them up kind of nice. But I'm not bondoing anything on that. So, but we'll stitch weld the front end, and then that'll give me a chance to start making the strut tower brace in another week or two. So we're gonna start getting that ready as soon as we get home. But yeah, I'll see you there. Okay, quick video. So you've been watching me get this firewall, this fake firewall off. So I have from the brake booster over to do, but all I'll have to do is go back through and clean up these little snubs from the spot welds, from the factory spot welds. I'm gonna have to weld that hole closed. And then I didn't cut this one enough over here, so that one got kind of mangled, but we'll get that welded in, ground down smooth. It'll look fine. And then this bracket here comes off, and then this little bracket here comes off, and then we'll get the grinding and cleaning. I'm gonna sweep all this out, get this all cleaned out and emptied out. You saw I had to take the ECU box out as well, so that had to come out in order for me to get to that firewall, but that made it a lot easier. So with that being said, let's keep rolling. video for the night, guys. Screwed that one up. All right, so I got pretty far actually. Came out a lot better than I thought. If you noticed in the video, I struggled getting all of this crap out of here. It's all that seam sealer adhesive crap. I wanted to get it out of there. This is the brace for the fender. This is why I can't cut this whole area out and do the tube front end, because the motor mount is bolted to it, and then the motor mount's also connected. I know you can't see that. I'll get a better view at some point, but the motor mount's basically connected here and back here at the subframe, but it's bolted right here to this brace that goes all the way up to the fender. So everything is kind of tied into one. So that's why I figured, the hell with it, we'll stitch weld it, we'll be done with it, and then I don't have any problems. So the plan is, I'm not gonna get back at this for a couple days. I got some other stuff to take care of. So the plan is, next time I'm out here, I'm gonna take a torch and get all this paint wire brushed and melded off of here, get it all burned off and everything like that. And then I want to get all this stitch welded here. I'm basically just gonna start kind of right here and stitch weld 1-inch intervals. I'm gonna try and go in between the spot welds, and then we'll stitch weld this whole thing all the way down here. And then we'll go all the way down this seam here, get some in the corners, and then we'll come here, stitch weld this around here, and go then up this side and around each of these as well. We're gonna plug holes. We're gonna get these ones plugged because I'm not gonna need the fender liner by the time I'm done. These two, I don't even remember what these ones are for, honestly. I'm not gonna plug these yet because I don't know what they're for. So we'll get these ones plugged over here, and then we'll do all those seams on the other side of that like I did over here. But we'll have to get the brake lines removed first. That'll have to be done. I want to get the ground cable taken off. I want to make sure that I'm going to be ready for the strut tower brace, and then once all that's done, we're going to get everything power washed. I want it all nice and clean. I'm going to try and fix my little boo-boos here and over here from those original strut tower brace brackets. But yeah, as for tonight, I'm out. We'll get cracking back at it again on Thursday, more than likely, and we'll be busting out the welder, so should be exciting. All right, later guys. Okay, so we got all the seams cleaned up now, which is good. They'll be easily weldable, so that's a good thing. So now what we're gonna do is switch gears a little bit. Onward and upward. We're gonna get some parts sandblasted. Our thing's a little dirty already. That's a little better, but anyhow. So I got those two coolant lines that run over the top of the intake manifold to do, and over here, both motor mounts. So we're gonna start there, and then after those are done, we're gonna dig out the accessory bracket, the alternator bracket, power steering bracket, that whole assembly. We're gonna dig that out. I think we got to pull the power steering pump off it still, but we'll do that, and then we'll get that blasted as well, so that all the brackets for the motor are completely done and ready to go. So keep up. Okay guys, so oh lovely. All right, so just got done blasting the accessory bracket, so it's not really it's not perfect, but it's a lot better. So the next thing that I'm gonna do with all these parts is I want to start cleaning them up. And I'll show you what I'm planning here in just a second. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this very well, but all these casting marks along here I want smoothed out. This casting mark along here, I don't know if you can see that at all. It's just pretty unsightly. Anything around the edges I want to try and clean up. I'm gonna do that on all three of these brackets here. And then what we're gonna do, so I'm not running an engine cover. So what I wanna do is get this bracket off this pipe here. So we're gonna grind that down until it kind of pops off, and we'll take some emery cloth and we'll smooth that out. I'm also gonna take off this little stud here. And we're gonna take off this stud here. So just trying to clean up everything as much as possible. I know most people aren't gonna give two craps whether any of this is done, but I'm trying to think about the little details that'll just add up to a cleaner engine bay overall, make it look a little bit nicer. We're also gonna be taking these two studs off on this one, here and here. So we'll get those cut off, clean it up nicely, sand it down. Like I said, I know it's probably not going to make two bits of a difference to the layman looking at this, but I know it, and it's going to make a difference to me. So that's the game plan for right now. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, got all the brackets cleaned up. All the edges are nice and shiny, sparkly, where I cleaned up all of the casting marks. So did that on all 3 of them. Got them looking pretty nice. So it'll be a while before they see paint, but that's done now at least. The next ones we're gonna have to do are the oil pan, and we're gonna do some cleaning up on the valve cover as well. The oil pan is pretty nasty in some spots, right around here. I know nobody's gonna see it again, but I don't care. I'm gonna clean it up anyhow. And the valve cover especially, because people really will see that. So those 2 things, and then there's not really much here on the timing cover, so don't think I'm gonna worry too much about that. Just looking it over, it doesn't look like there's really anything that I need to clean up on that. So but now that that's all done, damn, what's the next thing I was gonna do? Oh, well, tomorrow we'll be stitch welding the front end. So if not tomorrow, it'll be Saturday. So this weekend's activities, actually it will be Saturday, sorry, I got stuff to do tomorrow. So back on Saturday, stitch welding the chassis, or at least the front end of the chassis, we'll put it that way. And then I want to start gutting the trunk, and I'm going to be ordering my wheels tomorrow. I'm excited. I really am. So wheels will come next. I want to start sorting this mess out here at some point, but once I get the bay stitch welded, I'm going to get the motor and the head out of the Jeep. We'll bring them in, we'll get them, you know, semi put together as much as we can, I guess, and then we'll get them set in the transmission and all that stuff. Then we can start figuring out our core support, and then we're going to put the bumper on. And then once my wheels get here, we'll have to get the car jacked up and on jack stands, get the whole thing sitting how it's going to. That way we can see how far out they're going to go. And I'm getting 10 mil spacers from ECS, so hopefully those will get here quickly. But once all that stuff gets here, we'll get the wheels put on the car so I know where my fenders need to go out to. And then at that point, we're going to start on body work. So hopefully within the next like 2 weeks or so, we'll be starting to get all the expanding foam put around all the quarters and the fenders up front, do the back bumper, you know, get that all cut the way we want it to. So it's looking like in a couple weeks we're going to start seeing the body work really take shape, and I'm really excited about that. That's actually kind of my favorite part of this whole thing. I like the power of the engine, but the body work's going to be pretty gnarly looking. So yeah, on that note, onward and upward, guys. We'll see you.